I'm gonna try to give an introduction to an add-on. The add-on is called BoxCutter. You probably already know it. If you follow my Twitter account, I often repost a Twitter post by Master Sion 1001 because he made a lot of cool stuff using BoxCutter. And previously, I didn't know. I'm not confident about this add-on, how to use it, and etc. But I purchased it for $38, and I get all these installation add-on. And this add-on actually works for Blender 2.79 and 2.8. So it allows you basically to make a quick cut. So that's the basic idea. And then I tried the add-on both on 2.79 and 2.8. So we're gonna start with just using Blender 2.79, and yeah, let's just, you can watch a video tutorial by Gleb Alexandrov. He actually covered it really well. So I will show you how it looks like. So okay, BoxCutter by this is the order, and you got all these options. What's important to know when you first started is to use Alt W. So that's a hotkey to get you started. And with Blender 2.79, if you run this BoxCutter add-on, and then I'll hit Alt W, you get this blue frame around the 3D view. So that means it's good and ready to go. If you try to click on this guy, okay, right click, you get some more help. What's important is probably just the red shape and the yellow shape for now. Yeah, like I said, watch the video tutorial by Gleb Alexandrov or video tutorial by the creator. Okay, there's a lot already. Draw red shape and yellow shape. What is that? So basically, it's a Boolean operators that you can activate using hotkeys. That's the basic idea, and I will gonna give you example. If we start to hold Control and left mouse button, I don't have mouse actually. I'm just using a mouse, the trackpad of MacBook. I'm holding Control and left mouse button. It's drawing this red rectangle. If I release the left mouse button and then start to move down, I'm getting this. If I release, it's cutting the box. So that's really the basic idea. It's really that simple. At the very basic level, you don't need to know anything else for now. It's not the add-on. That's the older version of BoxCutter, I think, or older version of Blender. I have multiple Blender installed. Let's do it again. Alt W to get you started. You get this blue frame, and then Control, and then drag and start cutting. Okay, it's very basics, but it's actually really powerful way. Oh, okay. If you're not drawing on the face, it's gonna give you that. You always often want to draw on the face, like so. You can go all the way to the bottom. See, now I'm cutting on this side and then drag, and it's doing this Boolean cut. It's really basic, right? But it's also at the same time it's really powerful. So if we open this again, draw yellow shape. So there's a red shape that we've been drawing. Give you this clean edge. As you work more with this, you understand kind of like the power of this way of modeling. It's okay, draw yellow shape. Okay, let's draw yellow shape. Control, left mouse button, and then hold shift. Oops, actually I need to hold shift beforehand. Shift Control. Now I have this yellow box. I release. Now what happens here? This guy is being separated. from this guy. And we have this kind of like non-destructive mode automatically happening. You want to kind of hit apply here and apply there, and you still have the cutter. This cutter you can modify at any time because it's non-destructive. But now this guy is being separated from this guy, and you can scale this to give that kind of look. So this is very interesting, I thought. And if you want to work in Blender 2.8, using the latest 2.8, and you will interesting things. So Blender 2.8, same thing. Okay, delete everything, create a new cube, just scale it for no reason, and then we don't need to go to edit mode. That's one thing I realized when working with BoxCutter. So if you go to preferences, BoxCutter, we already have it. And the method of working is similar, Alt W, and then now you are in a BoxCutter mode, but you don't have all this help menu, etc. It's working kind of slightly differently, and I was kind of guessing at first, but it's what you need to know, probably the shortcut D. D will give you pretty much everything. Okay, there's a lot of options, but again, what you need to know is whether it's destructive or non-destructive. By default, it's non-destructive. You will find out later why, and then you have this option for circle, custom, and gone. And by default, it's cutting as a box. I'm not holding Control, Option, Shift, or whatever. I'm just gonna draw red rectangle. This is by default. I'm using left mouse button and start cutting. Okay, seems slightly simpler than the 2.79. You draw red box and then you cut it. So it's like a Boolean intersection. Oh no, it's a difference. It's minus. You start with a box and then you minus it, and you're still in the object mode. And I'm scaling, and you notice something weird. Okay, that's because this is non-destructive. It's actually using Boolean operations in the background for you. So yeah, so this is, I think, kind of interesting when you first use this for the first time. If you want to apply all this, you can hit apply, but a quick way is to use the spacebar menu. But now spacebar in Blender 2.8, in this version anyway, spacebar is a playback, and then Command F is something else, right click is something else. How do you go to the spacebar menu? You hold F3. F3 gives you this useful spacebar menu, okay? F3. And convert to mesh. This will apply all the modifier. So that's also important. So let's get back to BoxCutter. It's still running the BoxCutter. Yeah, you can see it from here. BoxCutter, draw red rectangle, and then you can go all the way. It's gonna make a hole. Yeah, so that's the basic idea. Okay, if you delete everything, start with the cube again. If you hold Shift, I think Shift will give you like a proportional rectangle kind of stuff if you want to have that. Hold Shift, okay. Nice rectangle there. Yeah, I think it's quite nice, right? You can model some really nice architecture design this way, like for a house, like a simple house, or even complex one. But I'm just gonna show you the basic, okay? Holding Alt will let you draw from the center. So Alt from the center. It's actually options on Mac, and there's another one, there's Control. So option let you draw from the center, but option actually, Control allows you to snap if you activate it. So hit D and you get all the options. This is very important. This is the snapping options. I will use the face, for example, and then enable it, hold control, right? So if you have a cube and then you hold control, you can see there is a dot indicator, and it's showing you the face. So holding control and then alt and shift let you draw rectangle at the center of the face. Very important, very important. Okay, because our brain seems to like this squares, everything is right angle. When we start to go crazy, like drawing shape like that and then make a weird cut, our brain doesn't really like it. Sometimes we do need this, but if you just make a random cut like that, hit enter, look at it. This looks very random. But one thing I want to show you, that's I should have mentioned it at the beginning. Sverchok nodes, Sverchok add-on is really good for BoxCutter. BoxCutter demo. Save Blender. First of all, BoxCutter is allows you to use custom shapes. So not just box. You can use other shapes as well. So if you hit D, oh, okay, I need to hit Option W first. Activate BoxCutter. If you hit D, you can see there's a circle, N-gon. Circle, of course, allow you to draw a circle and then make a cut using a cylinder or some sort. N-gon, draw, oops. Go to N-gon. Now I'm in N-gon mode, right? Alt W. Okay, I need to drag. N-gon allow you to draw N-gon and then make a cut. Yep, I need to double click on it. But you can use custom. So custom is really cool, and especially if I jump, go ahead and then make something, something random very quickly. So BoxCutter, this is by default. I'm just gonna make something super random, cut it from every angle. Something sophisticated, and then save this. Cut box. I can use custom, and if I hit D and then D and I'll go here and then okay, custom. We can use any shape that we want, but we need to put something in the collection. So I'll select the collections and then the cube 001. So, yep. Now we are ready to make a cut using this, using itself, basically. There you go. So now it's getting pretty advanced. I'm basically making a cut using cube.001, and for every cut it's gonna be hidden here. So the last thing I use for a cut, and that way we can get something really complex very quickly. This is basically like a fractal mode of BoxCutter. It's super interesting. It's really weird, and with this idea we can actually use Sverchok add-on to work with BoxCutter. So it's getting really crazy now. Yeah, okay, let's start again. So that's a little bit advanced, too fast. Now let's go to Sverchok. Sverchok is an add-on that I use all the time, and it allows you to make a quick procedural geometry. Yep, okay. Image viewer. I thought I turned it off. Do not disturb. Well, okay. So so this is a box. I want to use this as a cutter. So I'll use line. I'm just gonna use a basic method. Okay, line. We're gonna change it to grid at some point. So this is an array of boxes that I will try to use with BoxCutter. Okay, SV BoxCutter demo. Sorry, I have to save this just in case it crashes. So this guy can be a cutter if this guy is a single object. So turn on merge. Okay, maybe center it. Now we're gonna have a cube, and then we want to use BoxCutter. Hopefully this works. We might need to turn on normal properties, calculate normal, smooth shape. No need. Hit Alt Option W and then D. We want custom shapes on, and we want the. We don't want the collections, we want the alpha 001. This guy is actually outside of this collections. And it should, oh, it doesn't work. Basically, if I'm not wrong, this guy needs to be inside collection. And hopefully this works. Okay. All right, yeah, it works. The Sverchok need a way to group it into collections. Scene collection. All right. Okay, now we have a way to cut using Sverchok. Many people say Sverchok is hard, but in reality, it's not. It's not hard or complicated. It's okay. Blender probably just crashes. It's okay. I saved the blend. Let's continue. Okay, so that's because I think Sverchok was looking at this alpha that I moved into the collections. Wow, that's weird. Okay, Alt W, hit D. We want a custom. Hopefully this works now. Oh, it doesn't work because the cutter is looking at something that's outside of the collection. But if I put it here and then I make changes, okay, I can use this is the default shape. We want the one from Sverchok, so well, this is a slight bugs, I would say. So I save it, and if I make some changes, and maybe turn it into grid. So it's kind of like an array. I should be able to make a cut here. Yep. Oh yeah, it does work. It's frozen before, I don't know why. Yep, this is how it should work. Nice. Okay, so this is really the basic idea. I need to make probably another video, but if you want to get started, this is a good way to let you play around with it. If I randomize the box, it's starting to be quite weird now. Ah, okay. It draws the box. Maybe it's a little bit too weird. Ah, okay. Draw the box. Ah, it goes back to the default. Undo that. Hit D. Find under collection. There's a cube. we want alpha.000, hit escape, draw it, and make a cut. Yeah, that's not bad. Can be more random. Range integer, put this here, count. This will make random cube shape. So if it's a box, it's gonna cut it using this super random shapes. Okay, now it gets pretty crazy. Cube, S, X, scale it in X, random cube, random box, generated in Sverchok, and make a cut using it. Because this is Boolean underneath, you see that sometimes it gives you a kind of like a dirty looking surface, but if you're careful in theory, you can kind of get away with it. You might notice what I did just now. I'm plugging the frame into range integer. So this is it's gonna change the shape of this cutter. So for every frame. Yeah, it goes. It's too crazy. Don't use box, I guess. Don't use box and random cutter for now. Start from basic, use box or any shapes, and then you extrude it or solidify it, and that's becoming the custom shape for BoxCutter. If you start randomizing the cube, then you're in for trouble. However, you can randomize the placement of the cube over here in X and Y. So if I draw it now, yep, the cut is random. I can randomize it using frame to the seed. This is really the basic idea, but as you might notice later, the cut, okay, that's because it's overlapping. Overlapping is not good, I think, for custom shape. If you start to work with this more, the cutter can be very advanced, and you can basically cut like a balcony or something, like a whole room using BoxCutter. Hit D. Playback is still running. I have the cutter under collections, and yep. So for every frame, it's gonna make a cut and randomize it. Randomize the position slightly. Okay, it goes back to, now it's in the blue mode. The blue mode is doing something else. I guess in this mode, just work with a destructive way. And then now it's changing the index for every frame. Gonna do a quick one. Once again, this needs to be under collections. This cutter needs to be under collection for this to work. Hit playback. Now it's still playing back. So every cut is a different shape. I already make a lot of shapes. Okay, hitting enter, make a cut. Okay, I forgot. When working with this, you might want to turn on the cavity. This cavity, where's cavity? Shadow, matcat, cavity on. Now it's looking nicer. Draw the shape. If you hit enter, it's gonna go through and cut it, and you start to get an more interesting shape. Our brain, I don't know why, but our brain seems to like this kind of detail. Look at it and then wow, it looks detailed. It looks quite nice. And let's use a custom. Our custom now, what is this object called? Cube.002. So we are probably done with our object. Oops. Stop the playback. Cube 002. Let's put this under collection. Okay, and then go D, collection cube 002. Now I'm gonna finally make a cut using itself. This is the fractal mode. Oh, what happened just now? Ah, okay, maybe I need to F3 and then convert to mesh, and then I'm deleting all the history. Now I'll make it cut. It's still playing back properly. Collection cube 002 is myself. Okay, let's suppose that we start from a cube and then we use our custom cube 001 for a cutter. Okay, seems to be giving me this mirror mode. I don't know why. Maybe I hit something that I don't want. This must be like a mirror mode of some kind. So yeah, D, and there's a lot of option here. Oh yeah, I activate mirror mode by default. It's not by default. I mean, there's a lot of option with BoxCutter, and I'm still learning. And I think this add-on works really well with Sverchok. Okay, that's weird. So that's basically what I want to show you in this video. Hopefully you find this useful. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. If you have any comments, let me know in the video down below. And for the future videos, I'll try to make something more useful. For now, just use box, do random cut like this. And if you actually, one more thing I forgot, if you make a cut on a shape, if you make a cut, if you hold while this is red, if you hold what's the button? Z, I think Z is giving you blue. There's one that's giving you yellow. Hit D and then, okay, yellow is, slice is X. Okay, draw this and then hit X. It's gonna switch to yellow. Yellow, of course, gonna give you the intersection thing. Okay, so yeah, this is BoxCutter and Sverchok add-on and just some random tips. But again, this is just the basic. Okay, so just to get you started, if you're using Blender 2.79 or 2.8, now you know how to use BoxCutter and also how to incorporate Sverchok. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye.